Hi guys, are you considering a move to Folsom, California? Well, if so, this video right here is going to be for you because I'm going to give you the real deal and the full scoop. We're going to go over the pros and cons of Folsom, California. Let's get started. Hi guys, this is Jacqueline Gage, and if this is your first time at my channel, this is where we talk to you about everything Sacramento related and the greater Sacramento area, and we give you the full 4-in-1, the scoop, the real deal right here. So if you're into that, please don't forget, subscribe right down below and tap that bell button so you're notified every time I do a new video. You know, me and my team get calls all the time about people considering a move to Sacramento. So if you're considering a move, I would love to help you. Just give us a call, shoot us a text, PM, DM, whatever you prefer, and think of us when you're moving to Sac. We can help you. All right, so today we're going to talk to you about the 8 pros of Folsom and 5 cons. So let's get started. Number 1, Folsom, California is beautiful. Literally, it is such a pretty place. Nature permeates Folsom. It's all around you. You have rolling hills, well-established trees. There's so much greenery around. When they built Folsom, they left room in between housing subdivisions to have a ton of parks. So, you know, green grass and nature is all around, and that can really be helpful in your everyday lifestyle to make you feel good. Also, Folsom's super clean, unlike Sacramento proper. You know, there's no potholes, the roads are super smooth, there's no, pretty much no homeless there. So if you're looking for a beautiful, clean place, this could definitely be for you. Number 2, Folsom is very safe. So when you're looking for a place to live, obviously safety is a huge part of it, and Folsom is a very safe place to live. In fact, in 2020, SafeWise did a survey, and Folsom ranked number 1 in the Sacramento region for safety, and overall in California was number 8. So it really is a safe place. You can feel comfortable walking at night in a parking lot, and definitely a big plus when it comes to Folsom. Number 3, Folsom is a great place to lead an active lifestyle. So being in the foothills and around a lake, there is an abundance of outdoor activities for people to partake in Folsom. I mean, there are approximately 95 miles of hiking trails around Folsom where you have spectacular views of the lake. So you can either run, cycle, bike, mountain bike, lots of mountain bikers in Folsom. There's one main trail, that's the American River Parkway. It's a 32-mile stretch that takes you all the way from downtown to Folsom, and a lot of people use that on a daily basis. We also have 2 lakes in Folsom and the American River, so it's perfect for the person who loves water sports, that adrenaline junkie. So many different water sports you can do on the lake. One of the places I like is Lake Natoma. You can go up there and you don't even have to have your own kayak or boat. You could just rent, you know, a kayak for the day for like 20 bucks, like a tandem one. So I highly recommend it. Number 4, Folsom has great schools. So when considering a place to live for families, you know, they always have to a lot of times just go where the great schools are. Fortunately, Folsom is a beautiful place and they have good schools. To find out more about those, go to greatschools.org, but, you know, great public schools. So as opposed to Sacramento proper, you know, they don't have as much options, and a lot of people move to these newer parts because the schools are so great. Number 5, Folsom has spacious living as well as new living. So lots of people are coming to Folsom, especially from the Bay Area, where they're cramped up in their apartment and barely have 1,000 square feet. You can get an awesome home, 2,500 to 3,000 square feet, between $600,000 to $700,000. So you get a lot of bang for your buck as far as square footage in Folsom. Folsom has a lot of predominantly new homes. You know, there's old Folsom, but most homes in Folsom are going to be new builds. And because of that, they are turnkey, ready to move in, unlike Sacramento proper, where a lot of the homes need a ton of upkeep. So Folsom homes are also updated for today's living styles and trends. As far as the open living concept, you have it, check. The high vaulted ceilings, check. A lovely backyard with pool, that California lifestyle in Folsom, you got it. And so they have all these modern amenities and really new, so just no maintenance, and people love that. Number 6, Folsom has great shopping. So Folsom has those premium outlets that people just love. In fact, they have over 80 premium outlets in Folsom. One of my favorites is the Nike outlet. I love tennis shoes, so I always go get myself a new pair when I go there. Also, they have a beautiful outdoor shopping plaza with restaurants and entertainment called the Palladio. I really love the Palladio. The aesthetic's really nice, as well as new. So those are a couple great spots to check out in Folsom for shopping. Number 7. Folsom is rich in history. Even though there's so much new development in Folsom, and we think of Folsom with a lot of new builds, Folsom is where the West began. It's one of the cities where the West began, really. It was an old historic town where people came during the gold rush, and that's when you could check out old Folsom to see some of those old spots. Also, one of the gold nuggets that I was going to tell you about is that the Folsom Prison Blues that Johnny Cash sang. He actually came to Folsom Prison, sang that song, I think in 1968. And so that's one of the things that Folsom is known for. It kind of goes down in Folsom history. Also, there's a lot of history you can learn about just by going to the Folsom History Museum and the Folsom Railroad Museum. There's also Pioneer Village, so a lot of great education for kids to learn about Folsom. And it's awesome that it kind of has the best of both. You got new builds, but you also have old Folsom, and there are some older homes there too. Number 8, Folsom has a great job market. So let's go over some of the top employers in Folsom. Intel is going to be the biggest company out there. They provide a ton of jobs out in Folsom, mainly tech jobs, but for people of all levels. And the next couple companies that are going to be the top employers are going to be the Folsom State Prison as well as the California State Prison. Then after that, it's going to be the Folsom Cordova Unified School District. So definitely industries out in Folsom as well. Sacramento, you can consider that for a place of employment because it's not too far of a drive. All right, so let's get into the cons. Number 1, Folsom's homes are predominantly newer. So now for some people, this would be a great positive, but if you're the type of person that wants an older, charming home, like in the 20s or 50s, Folsom's not going to be the place for you. They have older Folsom, but there's not a ton of homes there. So if you want that mid-century home, it's not going to happen in Folsom. The architecture is much newer, and if that's not a positive for you, then Folsom won't be your spot. Number 2 con, Folsom is more expensive. So to put that in perspective for you, let's talk about the cost of living index, which is the number that it takes for the basic necessities for someone to live. So on average in the US, the cost of living index is going to be 100. And in California, it's going to be 140. And in Folsom, it's going to be 148. So higher than the average in California, so a bit higher, definitely higher than Sacramento proper. The median home value in Folsom is going to be $589, and that's continuing to rise. In fact, over the last year, it's probably increased about 5%. And as far as price per square foot, Folsom, comparing it to Sacramento, Folsom's about $267 price per square foot, and Sacramento is going to be $248. So Folsom is more expensive, but it's a cleaner area. The schools are better. They tend to be for the majority. So something to consider is obviously cost of living index. Really helps put things in perspective. Number 3, allergies. So with the good comes the bad. There's so much beautiful nature in Folsom, and you're amongst so many trees and new blooming things and grass, that with that comes the downside of allergies. And if you're allergy prone, you could have a little more issue in Folsom. So definitely don't forget and grab a great allergy medication. All right, the next con is going to be Folsom has a ton of traffic. So Folsom is growing rapidly. Right now it has around 78,000 people in Folsom, and it's going to continue to grow. There's so many plans for development, especially south of the 50. There's a whole new community that they're developing currently. And so over time, it's going to get more and more traffic. Sacramento has been growing, is the top growing city in California, but a lot of that is because of Folsom. A lot of people are mainly going to Folsom, so it's quite the attraction, and traffic's going to increase over time. All right, guys, and the fifth con is going to be that Folsom is far from Sacramento. Now that's all relative, because if you're a Bay Area person, 22 miles is nothing, but that can be, depending on commute and congestion, up to an hour. Just something to consider. All right, guys, so that covers some of the pros and cons of Folsom, just some things to consider if you are considering a move to Folsom. And if you are considering a move to Sacramento or the greater Sacramento area, please don't forget or hesitate to reach out, PM, DM, whatever you want to do. And don't forget to subscribe down below and tap that bell button so you're notified every time I do a new video. When you are considering a move to Sac, we have your back.